before the video starts, there are timestamps in the description or pinned comment. And yeah, if you don't want to see the deck profile and listen to me yak for 10 or 15 minutes, skip ahead. Anyway, just thought I'd go ahead and put that in. Uh, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all 9 yards. Let me know. See you later. So, the last time that I showed off this deck in a video on Master Duel, it was a little different. I didn't have but one Hita and one Bonfire. And that's fine. Um, having 3 of them is better. Having 2 of them is okay. Having 1 of them is not so good. Bonfire, you want to open this pretty much all the time. Hita, you want to open that pretty much all the time. Hita plus Ash Blossom equals Trooper. You want Trooper no matter what. Trooper is your main starter for the deck. That is the main card that you want, no matter what. That being said, if you can get to it, cool. If not, it is what it is. So I'll go through the profile real quick. Volcanic Shell, very simple. Once per turn, per copy. Which is actually, kind of good. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points, add 1 Volcanic Shell from your deck to your hand. This card must be in the graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. So, don't forget that. Don't banish it before you use the effects. One of the newer Volcanic Rimfire, which I'm pretty sure this is basically the retrain of Shell. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only activate you only use each effect once per turn. Sadly, this is a hard once per turn, so you can't use both effects twice. Anyway, banish this card from your graveyard, and if you do, send 1 volcanic monster from your deck to your graveyard, except for Rimfire. Or banish 1 Blaze Accelerator card from face-up field or graveyard, and if you do, place 1 Blaze Accelerator continuous spell or trap from your hand or deck face-up on the field. So, one of the combos that you do, and you see me do in the clips that you're going to watch, is use that effect to replace Volcanic Blaze Accelerator with another one to use its effect again to either destroy a monster or to summon a monster. Very useful. It requires resources to do that. That's why it's not a hard once per turn. It's not something that can be just like, randomly crapped out. I mean, it can, but it can't. If that makes sense. So, yeah. Anyway, Scattershot. Kind of surprised that this isn't a super or an ultra. Which, honestly, doesn't make much sense that this deck even has things that are not super and ultra in it. Because this deck is, honestly, as capable, if not more capable, than Fire King, Snake Eyes, or Snake Eyes, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, Scattershot. If this card is sent to the graveyard, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. If this card is sent to the graveyard by the effect of a Blaze Accelerator card, you can send 2 Volcanic Scattershots from your hand or deck. Hand and or deck. To the graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Unfortunately, Volcanic Scattershot and Volcanic Blaze Accelerator do not play nice with each other. Because you have to send a level 1 Pyro Monster. Which, I mean, to be fair, it's fine. If they had just said 1 Pyro Monster, then this would be in pretty much every deck that plays any Pyro Monsters, which, it is what it is. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. But it is what it is. Of course, we got the draw power for Max C. We got the anti-draw power and the anti-everything Ash Blossom. The alternate art. I was lucky enough to get 3 of them. So I'm going to use them. Volcanic Trooper. This is the retrain of Volcanic Rocket, basically. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can add 1 volcanic card from your deck to your hand, except for Trooper. You can discard 1 card, special summon 1 bomb token, which is a Pyro, Fire, level 1, attack 1000, defense 1000 to your opponent's field. Each time one is destroyed, its controller takes 500 points of damage. So, if it's on your field, this is very important to remember, if it is on your field, and you destroy it, whether linking it away or whatever, you will take 500 points damage because it's based on who controls it. So remember that when you place Anima, when you place the token, don't put it in one of the zones that Anima points to. And then take it, because that'll end badly. Well, it won't really end badly. It's not really a bad thing to take control of the token, but at the same time, when you go to link off Anima or tribute it for, Awaken of the Possessed, Greater Inari Fire, yeah, bad things happen. Barrier Statue of the Inferno, because reasons. Volcanic Rocket, the original, added Blaze Accelerator to your hand. Not once per turn, by the way. Inari Fire, Greater Inari Fire, I should say. Can be special summoned from the deck, which is pretty neat. Hita, the Fire Channeler, which is honestly good. This card is always treated as a Charmer card. You can discard this card with 1 other fire monster, add 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand with higher attack than the other discarded card, or other discarded monster. Also, you cannot activate non-fire monster effects for the rest of this turn. When your fire monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card from your hand. So, yeah. It's a decent card for what it is. It's a searcher more than an actual useful card. As far as attack and stuff, but yeah. The boss man himself, Volcanic Trooper. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Pyro monsters or 1 Blaze Accelerator card from your face-up field and or graveyard. And you can only special summon Volcanic Emperor once per turn this way, by the way. Or once per turn in general, actually. When summoned this way, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each banished Pyro monster. Then you can set 1 volcanic trap directly from your deck. Each time your opponent special summons, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. So, that is it for the monsters. As far as the spells, Fire Ejection. Send a Pyro from your deck to your graveyard. This is Foolish Burial. And if you sent a Volcanic monster to the graveyard, you can apply 1 of these effects. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its level times 100. Or special summon 1 bomb token, which is a Pyro, Fire, level 1, attack 1000, defense 1000. Each one is each time it's destroyed, your opponent takes 500 points of damage. Quite nice. Play 3 of those. Force 3 Bonfire. One of the most important cards of the entire deck. I wish it was actually cheap, so I could actually get my hands on 3 of them. Fire Recovery. Not the most important card, but it is useful. It is a one of in this deck. So, yeah. Target one fire monster in your graveyard, send one card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do special summon that targeted monster, it's pretty useful. And then it has the banish effect. You can banish it from your graveyard, target 3 fire monsters in the banish zone or graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw one card. Almost said draw 3. After that, we got the original Blaze Accelerator, then Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, then the Fire Art Spirit thing, Volcanic Emission, which is honestly one of the things that wins games. This ends games. Like, really simple. Target a Pyro monster on the field, inflict damage. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. Or if you choose a monster on your side of the field, its damage is halved. But it's still enough to wipe them out usually. So, keep that in mind. This card can actually win games. If it's in your graveyard, banish it, then send a Pyro monster, which you send Scattershot off of it. And Scattershot effect, it inflicts 500 points of damage, and then you send 2 more, they inflict 500 points of damage. You not only board wipe, but you inflict 1500 points of damage. Quite nice. Then last but not least, Volcanic Inferno. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can banish one Pyro monster from your graveyard and inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. Then, if you banished a Volcanic monster to activate this effect, you can negate that effect. So it's very good. During your opponent's end phase, you can target up to 2 of your Volcanic monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard. Place them on the bottom of the deck. Unfortunately, this doesn't allow you to draw, but it is what it is. But, yeah. So, anyway, that's the main deck. The extra deck really doesn't matter. The only cards that you care about in the extra deck, possibly those 6. That's it. This is your, end all be all boss monster thing or whatever. You use this for its summoning, and you get to, make this a 5300 beat stick and banish a fire, and then a dark, and destroy 2 cards on the field. That's really it. You don't care about any other card in the extra deck. So if you wanted to play something like Pot of Extravagance, you honestly could, but I would recommend playing 3 ofs. So your extra deck would look like this, honestly. That's what your extra deck would look like if you were to play Pot of Extravagance. Which, I mean, it's fine. As long as none of it gets limited, then it's fine. But, yeah. The extra deck doesn't really matter. But, let's, get into the actual clips, shall we?
Kaboom!